I'm about to broadcast on FVRlive.com. 1 second here. Okay, this is Thunder Talk with your Thunder Bear of the Courage family. And this is March the 31st, 2019. And I need to move the microphone a little back here so I'm not so loud. I hope that's better. Yes, that sounds a little better. I am also broadcasting on YouTube as well. So if you want, there's actually no picture because I just have my my little avatar up. But if you want to look in YouTube, it's thunder.bear.courage@gmail.com. Courage is COURAGE. Courage. Okay. Thunder Bear, well, thunder and lightning and all that sort of stuff. And bear is in that animal that goes through the woods and stuff and eats people's. No, just kidding. Actually, eats blueberries and stuff. I love blueberries and blackberries. Yeah, I love. Yeah. All right. So hopefully I have a good show for you today. I don't have enough screens. Oh my, I don't have enough screens. Okay. I hope no one uses the group chat on YouTube. I'll check it every now and then just in case. I am on the group chat for FVRlive.com. Okay. And I see Lawrence has just joined on the chat session, and Rick is supposedly on here, Veronica, and I got some others here. So let me go ahead and type on air here now, just in case anyone is looking at the chat and not listening to the broadcast. Okay, yeah, I got quite a bit of stuff here today. Oh, excuse me. Okay. Yeah, what I wanted to start out with was talking about the do not arrest, do not detain federal level warning that I have in the databases, the police databases, so-called law enforcement databases. That doesn't necessarily mean I can't be arrested. It just means that I'm not subject to the penal codes and the code of federal regulations and all this crap that they have. I'm subject to the law, real law, as in the common law of the land. Okay, so if I go out and murder someone or rape them or rob them or whatever, I can't be arrested. The thing is, they have to bring me before a court of record. Okay. So, yeah. Lawrence just joined the chat session twice. Yeah, I have to do that sometimes. It just messes up sometimes, doesn't it? So, yeah, anyway, I got that mostly because the birth certificate was null and void from the beginning because it wasn't filed in the correct number of days. The birth certificate is a letters patent, which is a creation of a corporate entity. Okay, let's see. Let me turn my mic over just a little bit here. I hope my volumes are all right. My sound levels are all right. Yeah, actually, just a little too loud. Maybe I'll turn my mic down a little bit. Oh, wow. It was way up there. All right. That sounds better, I think. Okay. Yes. All right. So, anyway, yeah, the getting back to the do not arrest thing, I proved in court that the that birth certificate just wasn't any good. Okay, when they went and created that corporation, it just wasn't good because it says on there that it must be filed within 5 days. Okay, must. Must is one of those legal words. Must means must. It must be filed within this time period. If it is not filed within that time period, it's no good. It's not a legal document. So there is no birth certificate. Okay. There is no birth certificate. Now, there's something else. I just had this thought when I was getting ready for the show. I'd forgotten something that happened a long time ago. It seems a long time ago. It seems like ancient history. I had learned something a long time ago. I just forgot those oaths. If you take an oath to be as a witness to get up on the stand, and they say, well, we'll put you under an oath. What you're doing is you're contracting out with the court. All oaths are contracts, and they could really nail you on that. I didn't know that at first, a long time ago, when I was still learning this stuff, when I was still kind of in the sovereign citizen camp. Sovereign citizen, most of the sovereign citizen stuff is crap. The vast majority of it's crap. If you call yourself a sovereign citizen, you don't know what you're talking about. Now, if you call yourself if you call yourself a free man on the land, then you know a little more. Okay, it's kind of tough just to judge what you know just when you're calling yourself that. But I went through that phase as well, and now I'm just a man. I'm a living man. Okay. And that makes all the difference in the world, just saying I'm a man. You don't want to overcomplicate things. I see documents all the time on Facebook and on the web in general where, court filings and stuff where they got the right ideas and everything, but they're going way overboard. They're making things way too complicated. You don't overcomplicate things. You keep things as simple as possible, straightforward as possible. The idea is to communicate. Or do you really think you're communicating when you throw in a bunch of Latin, like in in ab initio? Ab initio, which means from the beginning, or in propria persona, which is proper person. If you start throwing in a lot of Latin, do you really think you're communicating? Now, I know those are legal terms, and lawyers should know them, but most attorneys are not lawyers, for one thing. Some judges aren't. All right. But yeah, don't overcomplicate it. Keep it as simple as possible. One syllable words. Let's put it this way. If you're writing up a document, would you want to read this document? Think about it. If someone handed you the document that you're writing up now, would you want to read it? If it's like, 60 pages or 300 pages long, would you want to read it? What would you rather read? Want something that's like 1 page or maybe 2 pages at the most, depending on what it is you're trying to set up, or how big you write or whatever. If you write really big, then yeah, it can be 2 pages. If you're typing it out on a computer, though, there should be no reason whatsoever to have it 2 pages, unless you're setting up something really super special or something. So yeah, just keep it simple. Okay. There's another thing I was thinking about yesterday or something, or a day before, I forgot. I was thinking about the lawyers and the judges and lawyers and or attorneys, judges, court clerks, and all, and the cops, they're all criminally insane. Well, you know, lately I've been getting back to my spiritual roots, as it were, spiritual teachings. And quite frankly, I should not be angry with them. I shouldn't want to see any harm come to them. Yes, they are criminally insane, but that just means they need help. You know, um, you shouldn't bear hatred for them. And I know sometimes it's tough. I've got news stories right here tonight I'm going to read off to you. And man, it's stuff that makes your blood boil, but you got to remain calm. I think most of the anger comes from just frustration, not being able to, do anything about it. Really. Well, you could, if we joined together, we could do something about it. There's 2 towns that I know of that kicked their police force out, and they kicked their politicians out as well. And they're thriving. They just they just did their own. Well, one of them hired their own security, and the other is they're just the natives there taking care of the security. They're like security guards. And things are so much better for them. Their crime rate is way, way, way down because they kicked out all the crooks. So yeah, there is something you can do, especially if you live in a small town or a small city, maybe. Yeah, there are things. So anyway, I wanted to mention all that. Okay, so let me expand this screen here. Okay, there's something I'm going to scroll down a little bit first. I got lots of news stories and stuff, things I want to mention, but there's one in particular I want to go ahead and get out of the way. Oh my, having scroll down. I am so glad I'm able to use my mouse though. I love my little USB hub. Here we go. Killer rabbits in medieval manuscripts. Why so many drawings in the margins depict bunnies going bad? I love that. That's a nice little story. It's from from openculture.com. And of course, they have a video on there, a little thing from Monty Python and Holy Grail. You remember the rabbit, right? If you ever seen the movie, you remember the rabbit. Yeah, the little bunny rabbit. Oh, that's not. It's just a little bunny rabbit. What are you talking about? I'll just go through there, and then of course, he gets killed. Oh my. I've got a that's cute like everybody's poses. They got them hopping legs and touching little noses and what's with all the carrots. What do they need such good eyes for anyway? Bodies that must be bodies. Okay. I hope you enjoyed that. That was from Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Oh my God, my volume is too high. Still too high. It went back up. That's what just went back up on its own. Oh. It's just jumping around. Hang on. Let me turn this little knob here. Let's see if this works better. Oh man. I don't know what's wrong with this thing. It just jumps right back up automatically. Okay. All right. Are we good right here? Let's. All right. Hello. Testing. Testing. Okay. Cool. Sorry about that, folks. Okay. Lawrence says volume sounds great here. Yeah. I didn't want to. I didn't want to. Oh, hang on. Let me make a little bit more of an adjustment here. Okay. Testing. One, two, three. Testing. Okay. So anyway, thanks, Lawrence. Thanks for telling me about the volume. Yeah. I don't know. I'm not sure about it sometimes. Okay. I got to I really got to pay more attention to the volume when I start before I start my show. So, anyway, on to some news stories. New metallic wood could lead to super light cars. It can also make your smartphone incredibly durable. Yeah, metallic wood is not actually wood, okay? But what they're doing is they're giving metal the consistency of wood, the density of wood, and I think it's really cool. I mean, you have this coming out maybe eventually here, mass produced, and then maybe graphene as well. Graphene is going to be awesome. I mean, absolutely awesome. There's so many things they're actually doing. They have a basically new type of physics because of the graphene. What they're doing is they're taking one sheet and just having it flat, right? And then they're taking another sheet underneath it really close to it and twisting it in certain ways. And if you twist it at a certain angle, it becomes an insulator. And if you twist it at another angle, it becomes a. Oh, okay. Hang on, Lawrence. Thanks. Let me turn it back up again. Too quiet. All right. Thanks for tell. Wow, that's up. Hang on. Let me. Okay. All right. Is that better? Yeah. It's hard for me to tell sometimes. Maybe it's because my earbuds are too up. Earbuds are too high up. You know, I probably had my earbuds too loud. Thanks. I really do appreciate that. Um. Okay. Cool. Cool. Lawrence says yes. All right. Thank you. I really do appreciate the feedback. I really do. Um, so what was I saying? Oh yeah, you twist the graphene sheet another way, it becomes a superconductor, a room temperature superconductor. Now, the thing about graphene is right at this moment, they don't have a way of mass manufacturing it, but that could change. If that changes, everything changes. Um, you want to talk about technology that eventually it can be almost indistinguishable from magic, really. If you get the graphene and you get the nano stuff, nanoscale stuff. Now, nano is 1 billionth. In other words, a nanometer is 1 billionth of a meter. Your hair, generally speaking, human hair, is roughly 60 nanometers in diameter. Okay, the thickness that is thickness of human hair is 60 nanometers roughly. So that should show you the kind of scale that you're talking about when you're talking about certain things that can possibly be, invented or whatever. Technologies coming along. So yeah. Um, oh man, you know what? I wanted to say some stuff about flat Earth too tonight. I don't want to forget. Um, there's something I do forget sometimes as proof or, well, actually evidence of flat Earth. and that's the jet stream. I forget about that. That thing, if you look at the jet stream on a globe, it's going all over the place. It's all really wacky and everything. But if you put it on the A map, okay, the azimuthal equidistant map, then it's just like it goes in circles. That's it. It's a perfect circle. It goes round and around and around like an air conditioning system under the dome. You know, that's one of the reasons why I think there is a dome. Uh, there's lots of people that say that they've proven the dome. I'm not sure. Some of the evidence is kind of sketchy, but it's just it seems to me that there probably is a dome if you have the air circulating like that. Okay, really, you should see it sometime. But Jaron in Jaronism, okay, on YouTube, he um, he has um, he has some really good videos on that, and I think he's going to revisit the subject too. So I just wanted to go into that for a moment. Okay, now one of the things I have on my Lightning Post page on my Facebook, which I know is hard to find, for some people's, I apologize. I don't know why I'm apologizing. It's Facebook's fault. Facebook's fault. But anyway, I've got the 10 stages of genocide here. Number 1, classification. People are divided into us and them. Number 2, symbolism. Symbolization. People are forced to identify themselves. Number 3, discrimination. People begin to face systematic discrimination. 4, dehumanization. People equated with animals, vermin, or diseases. Now, let me get off of that list for a moment and tell you there was some sheriff's deputies that were caught on camera down in Florida discussing protesters and calling them cockroaches. Okay. In Florida, some of the sheriff's offices, they ride around in military, actual like armored military vessels. Okay, armored personnel carriers. That's it. That's what I was trying to think of. Armored personnel carriers. They're at war, which is something else I want to talk about too. So anyway, getting back to this. Number 5, organization. The government creates special groups, police, military, to enforce the policies. Number 6, polarization. The government broadcasts propaganda to turn the populace against the group. Number 7, preparation. Official action to relocate people begins. Number 8, persecution. Beginning of murders, theft of property, trial massacres. Number 9, extermination. Wholesale elimination of the group. It is extermination and not murder because the people are not considered human. Number 10, denial. The government denies that it has committed any crime. Be on the lookout for these because we're already seeing some of it with the dehumanization and the concentration camps with the like especially little kids. I've got a story. I can't remember if I put it on my Lightning Post page or if I do know that it's on my Thunder Bear Courage page, my main page, about a contractor that was running a concentration camp for immigrant kids, illegal aliens, they call them, aliens, dehumanizing them. Think about it. They're calling them aliens. That's not good. They're peoples, just like you, just like me. All right. They're human beings. And I do know that there are some peoples that don't like that word because the way human beings defined in 1933 dictionary. Screw that. Okay, that's just what the elite calls monsters because they're not human. All right, the ones at the very top are not human. I'm not sure what they are, but they're not human. They certainly don't act human. All right, let me scroll up here. Okay. An IT guy gets fired and promptly torches 23 Amazon web servers. Yeah, he stole one of his coworkers' access cards before he left the building, and he went in there and did some really bad things to the servers. So Amazon couldn't even get the data back. They couldn't recover the data. Okay. Capitis Dimentio Maxima. There's Capitis Dimentio Maxima. Oh my, that Latin gives me trouble sometimes. The highest or most comprehensive loss of status. This occurred when a man's condition was changed from one of freedom to one of bondage. When he became a slave, it swept away with it all rights of citizenship and all family rights. That's all uppercase letters in the name. Okay, that's what this is talking about, your name, or what you think of as your name. Capitis Dementio Media, a lesser or medium loss of status. This occurred where a man lost his rights of citizenship but without losing his liberty. It carried away also the family rights. This is when you're capitalizing the first letter of each so-called name. Okay. The so-called first, middle, last name, or even your given name and then the family name. Capitis Dimentio Minima, the lowest or least comprehensive degree of loss of status. This occurred where a man's family relations alone were changed. It happened upon the arrogation of a person who had been his own master, or upon the emancipation of one who had been under the patria potestas. Okay. Patria, that's the patriarchy, the father. Potestas, I think that's protection or something. I'm not sure. My Latin is really rusty. Sorry. It left the rights of liberty and citizenship unaltered. And see inst.1.16.pr dot semicolon id dot 1.2.3 semicolon dig dot 4.5.11 semicolon mac eld dot civ dot law subsection 144. I just found this, by the way. Actually, I'd seen it before a long time ago, but I'd kind of forgotten about it. I probably have it in my files someplace. But I just went ahead and grabbed that case and or whatever it was, and I haven't actually had a chance to look at it. So whatever. But if you want to see it, it's here. It's on my Lightning Post page. Okay. Verizon launches free version of call filter service for blocking spam calls. Now, I got a comment from Drunk Cares. Not completely free, but hey, this looks great. But there continues to be a $2.99 per month fee for caller ID, a personal spam list, a personal block list, a risk meter, and spam lookup functionality. Now, the thing is, I'm looking at the picture for this, and it says it has a risk level and potential fraud for this, whoever's calling. Yeah, I don't want anyone calling at all. Seriously. Um, the thing is, it knocks me off the air when I'm doing my show. Oh crap! Speaking of doing my show, I just looked at I looked at the time. I've got to do something here. Hang on one moment. Where is it? Oh man, here it is. Right here. Okay, I'll be right back in a moment.
You're listening to Flat Earth Radio Live, and this is the Flat Earth Man, and all you're watching is a puppet show. All you're watching is a puppet show. Yeah, the whole world's a stage. The whole world's a stage, man. You're listening to Flat Earth Radio Live.
Flat Earth New Zealand Trust Group is proud to present the Flat Earth New Zealand Expo 2019, April 27th through the 28th. Awakening to reality and purpose is the solemn duty and joy of each significant soul. Join us at our Flat Earth New Zealand Expo to see mysteries unraveled and learn a truthful perspective about our world that you may have never considered before. Unearthed in a creative and condensed way. Flat Earth Expo Aotearoa, New Zealand. Hosted in Auckland. Jam-packed 2-day, 3-part event to showcase the flat Earth and other related topics, such as the Antarctic Circle and lands beyond, NASA, scientism, religion exposed, the Matrix control, vaccinations and chemtrails, political globalism and the New World Order, fake news and false education, astronomy untouched, weather modification, historical hoaxes, financial systems, what are UFOs and aliens, biblical cosmology, and much more. Broaden your horizon. On Saturday, join an open educational public seminar with 4 international lecturers. You will enjoy a quality crash course in flat earth knowledge, each presenting undeniable evidence covering several categories of research as well as touching on other connected fields of study. This quick Q&A session includes an attendant pack and afternoon tea. It truly is a marvel to behold while awakening the common senses. The 2019 Flat Earth New Zealand Expo promises to be a feast of flat earth exhibits, products, souvenirs and artwork displayed throughout both days. So don't miss it. Our contact information. You can call us at 021-0289-3402 or email us at admin@fenzexpo.co.nz or write to us at PO Box 51010, Pakuranga, Auckland, New Zealand 2010. Flat Earth is common sense and is found in the history of every race. For ticket information or to ask questions, log on to fenzexpo.com.
Hey, John, you don't look so good. What's the matter?
Oh, I always feel tired and run down. No energy. I think it's my poor diet or something.
Well, John, I used to feel the same way. Couldn't sleep at night, couldn't stay awake in the day, John. That's when my doc told me that I had leaky gut syndrome.
Oh, wow. What'd you do? Surgery?
No way. I tried Tarsal. Tarsal is made with the finest, purest cream of tartar and MSM sulfur. And that's all. The fact that it contains all natural ingredients makes it especially desirable in today's toxic world. Tarsal is a white powder that you take every day with water or juice. Taken regularly, Tarsal can clear your leaky gut right up.
Tarsal, huh? So what else does Tarsal do?
Tarsal can help with acne, psoriasis, constipation, gallstones, heartburn, hemorrhoids, hypertension, IBS, and UTI.
Wow, that's quite a formula.
Yes, it is. And Tarsal also helps you to relax, repels insects, and can help you stop smoking.
So how do I find Tarsal?
That's easy. Just go to tarsal.com or call 619-363-1264. Try a bottle today and begin feeling normal again.
TARSUL.com. Try Tarsal today.
Okay, back. And it appears, I hope that did go out over YouTube. It looks like it did. Okay. User NASA Lies About Everything has joined the chat session. Cool. Great. I'm glad to see you on the chat session. Hope you've been listening. Had some really good stuff. I just got a comment on the Verizon thing here that I just read off right before we went to break. It's from Dra Cares. I guess I don't know how to pronounce that. It's weird. I don't believe in that rubbish about flat Earth, but agree with most everything else you have to say. And I said, if you listen in right now, I will talk about it, and we'll see if he listens in. If he replies, because he just now put that comment up. So I don't know. If he replies, I'll talk about flat Earth. I will convince him. Seriously, we've got way more than enough real proof of the Earth being flat. It's just there's no real debating it. So moving on. Doctors warn air fresheners are linked to cancer and contain hormone disrupting chemicals. I hadn't heard that before. It's from healthyandnaturalworld.com. Wasn't too long ago. I think I don't know, maybe about 6 months ago or something. I'd heard that. Yeah, probably so. I would not doubt that. Study: new immune cells found in breast milk make it irreplaceable. Okay, that's from mothering.com. Yeah, there's the cells and everything, but there's also oh god, what am I trying to say here? There's I'm blanking out on the word that I don't want to use here. There's other good stuff in there. I'm just blanking out on the word. Enzymes. Yeah, enzymes. And some other stuff. There's some what do you call those bionutrients? That probiotics. That's it. There are probiotics in there as well, and probably prebiotics. I have a meme up here. It says all 4 companies that manufacture all 72 of the current vaccines that are now mandated for American children. All 4 of those companies are convicted felons. And that's from Robert F. Kennedy Jr. on 3/19/19. So yeah, just like not too long ago here, about half a month in the past. Cops film themselves viciously beating suicidal hospital patient for their own pleasure. If you can see the look on this cop's face, he looks like he's having a lot of fun. What did I tell you? That they're criminally insane, right? I wish we had hospitals that can treat them. I really wish we did. I mean, let's face it, there is, that insanity defense. And yeah, why not? They are all criminally insane. Every last one of them, except for the ones that like first join the police force and then realize what's going on and they quit, like almost immediately, when they're told explicitly that they don't have power over man. That they have power over felons, they have power over parolees, but they don't have power over man. The worst pain a man can suffer is to have insight into much and power over nothing. That's from Herodotus, 484 to 425 BC. Yeah. Tell me about it. Oh, hang on a second here. NASA lies about everything. I was pulled over last week for no code violation, but a safety concern. And of course, I messed up and let him run me. Yeah, run your ID and stuff. Yeah. because they're always fishing for things, because they've got to make that money. They officially, legally, they can't have quotas, but unofficially they have quotas. Okay. They'll tell you, well, we don't have quotas, but they have quotas. They're just not calling them quotas. That's all. That's all it is. Yeah. You should always have a notice of status with you. Okay. If, did I ever send you a notice? NASA lies about everything. Did I ever send you a notice through email? If I didn't, yeah, they do have contact quotas. Yeah, and well, more than contact quotas, they've got to actually write tickets, because it's a giant money making machine. Look, okay, cool. Yeah, just email me at thunder.bear.courage@gmail.com. Okay. Just email me, and when I can, probably tomorrow. I got to take my computer to the library tomorrow and get on it. It's warning me I need update. Yeah, just email me, and I will be more than happy to send you all kinds of information. Oh God, sword and shield method that I've got. The only slight problem I have with that document is when I advise everyone to, do claims to the cops. I'd forgotten when I wrote that. I'd simply forgotten that cops are thugs with guns, and they're kind of mindless, and they don't know law. It works wonderfully well with judges and attorneys, but it doesn't work so well with cops. So yeah. That's the only problem in that. But you see that document, you'll know what a notice of status is. Okay. So let's see. Oops. I gotta get over here. Scroll. Antarctic explorers killed. Charlie Anhoy's story. I guess it's Anhoy's. I don't know. It's one of those weird, like Icelandic names or whatever, with the weird thing through the O. I'm not sure how to pronounce it. Yeah, he tried to go to Antarctica, and he wanted to cross Antarctica. Okay. He wasn't like going through the wall to see, to find the dome. His crew was basically murdered. Okay. We don't know exactly who murdered them, but most likely the military. It's just, what can you say? I mean, it is what it is. They have all these things in place to stop people's, the Antarctic Treaty. However, there may be a workaround to the Antarctic Treaty. Okay. That treaty, it is a contract. Okay. But it's not really binding upon man unless you bind yourself to it. You bind yourself to one of these nations, you fly one of the flags of the nations. Don't fly any flags on your boat. Okay? Don't fly any flags on your boat. Don't register your boat. When you register something, it goes to the king, because register, the root word of register is reg, which is like king. Like regicide is murdering a king or a queen. Anyway, it may be something to think about. Facebook charged for role in illegal housing discrimination. HUD claims that the platform's targeted ads violate housing laws. Yeah, they targeted the certain ads for houses and stuff to only certain ones. And it's really weird that HUD is doing this. That is, they're the ones that are going after Facebook, because HUD actually is fraud, pure and simple. What they do is they borrow high and loan No, wait, I'm sorry. They borrow low and loan high. There we go. I had that backwards. In other words, when they borrow money for the houses, okay, they actually make money when they like give you a house. Okay, like you get signed up for the list and everything, and then you pay X amount of dollars, whatever. They actually make money. They keep two separate sets of books. That was actually disclosed from someone on the inside. I'd forgotten all the details. I think her name was Karen something, and she'd worked for HUD, and she came right out and said, "Hey, what they're doing is basically criminal. It's fraud." Teleoperations startup driverless. Hang on, let me. It got cut off here. Just click on the link. The link didn't fully load up here. Driverless cars to remotely operate driverless cars. Okay. If you follow the link, it's got this guy he's got 6 monitors in front of him, and he's got a steering wheel, and what it is when something goes wrong with the autopilot of the car, okay, he's supposed to come in and correct it. I don't think that's going to work. Hang on a second. Yeah, NASA lies about everything. Just made a comment. Wow, that's HUD. I wonder if private companies have gotten in on it, like Habitat for Humanity. That's a good question. I don't know. Jimmy Carter started that, so he's so tied in with Council on Foreign Relations and stuff. I don't know. I don't know if he would know how to tap into Sesame KV Trust, because I know a lot of charities and stuff, some of them anyway, and hospitals and whatever, they tap into that trust, and so everything is paid for already, keeping 2 separate sets of books. It just depends, some may not know how to do that. It's kind of privileged information, as it were, and quite frankly, well, I could probably figure it out if I sat down and thought about it for a while. I can probably figure it out how to do it, but there are those that specialize in that area and studying that area. In fact, in my Sword and Shield method, I've got links to some podcasts by those certain men who study that area, especially mortgages and stuff, and that's really their thing, and they go into deep detail about how these mortgages are fraud and stuff. And yeah, it involves the Sesame KV Trust. But as far as the normal thing of just, borrowing low and selling high, maybe Habitat Humanity does that. I don't know. I thought they gave houses away for free, but who knows? They could be tapping in Sesame KV Trust and just charging a crap load for their crappy houses. And they are crappy houses, by the way. They really are crappy. I wish they would just do aircrete houses. They'd be a lot cheaper, and they wouldn't be crappy. How can you mess up an aircrete house? You already get the foam, not the foam. I'm sorry, the form and everything, and just and pour it. I mean, come on, you can't mess it up. Anyway, let's see. Yeah, I don't think this startup is going to work too well. Or they have any guarantees or something that your car's not going to crash when they take control? I mean, please. Plus, the thought of taking control, could that be hacked? A lot of cars today can be hacked. That's a whole nother subject right there. Anyway, moving on. Office Depot rigged PC malware scans to sell unneeded $300 tech support. I read that whole article. It was absolutely disgusting. I'm not going to give Office Depot any more of my business. Seriously. Yeah, I'm not. Of course, all these companies are bad, aren't they? Most of them, anyway. It's really hard, because you've got these massive companies like Apple. Okay, Apple does slave labor. Walmart, they do slave labor. Just all these giant tech companies, just slave labor, right? It's like, well, I don't want to do business with them. Well, who are you going to do business with? Yeah, it's like there's not much in the way of options out there, And Google, God, you know how bad Google gets sometimes, and with some of the stuff that they do. And Facebook, I'm kind of stuck on Facebook, really. Sure, we've got that LFE people thing, but I've got all these friends, Facebook friends, and I'm doing advertising basically kind of through Facebook. And I don't know, maybe when we get the LFE people up enough, built up enough, I don't know. There's an app for that, by the way. Just go to the Google Play Store if you have Android phones, and just look up Flat Earth apps. Okay, seriously, look up Flat Earth apps. It's cool. Anyway, Twitter is considering labeling Trump tweets that violate its rules. I read that article too. That was from CNN.com. I hate CNN, but every now and then, there's the interesting story there. Twitter. Yeah, it was a funny story. They say, well, we give heads of state a pass. They can violate our rules, and if it's newsworthy, that you can violate the rules. Oh man. You know what? They really shouldn't have any rules other than you can't libel someone. That's it. I think that should be it. You can't libel anyone. Now, if it's a service that's where you can speak, like YouTube or whatever, that would be slander, because slander is spoken, libel is written. You can remember that easily because slander starts with an S. Okay. Oh, here we go. Another comment from NASA: lies about everything, anything for news. If it bleeds, it leads. Except he misspelled bleeds. It's fine though. He spelled it like you spell the word beads with an L in it, though. It's kind of funny. Bleeds. Yeah, he corrected it. Bleeds. I misspell words all the time. Usually I catch it though, because I say, well, that's not spelled right. But I do, especially if you're in a hurry typing on these things, man. Yeah, you can easily misspell words. I'm a terrible speller anyway, but I do know how to spell the word bleeds. That's good. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, Trump, I mean, God, he's such a clown, isn't he? Yeah, he's Orange Hitler, Yeah, people's voted for the Wicked Witch of the West, and of course their vote doesn't count. Your vote doesn't count. That's it. It's electoral college that decides, because they're electors. They elect. You just vote at at polls with your opinions. So yeah, but I mean, geez, which evil do you want? I don't know. There's rumors that Hillary Clinton is actually dead, and that they just have these robots or maybe duplicates or whatever, clone duplicates or something, and they malfunction. You should see that. You check into that kind of stuff. Hang on. Lawrence says, yes, the point seems to be to trigger Sith emotions, fear, hate, envy. He says hashtag trigger Sith emotions. That's an interesting way of putting it. Yeah. That's cool. And she's a Sith. Yeah. Are you in the Jedi religion, Lawrence? Just out of curiosity, because that is a growing religion. By the way, it is actually recognized as a religion, Jediism. Actually, I'm actually more of a Whovian myself, but yeah, I can definitely relate. Of course, there are the gray Jedis too. That interesting, but yeah, fear, hate, and envy. Yeah, all these things are the dark side. Yeah, definitely. Anyway, moving on from that story. America's most expensive city can't build a homeless shelter without rich people fighting back. Yeah, I read that article too. It's just what it is they don't want it in their neighborhood. Because homeless are just cockroaches. They're blah 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 and all that kind of crap. Yeah, it's a shame. You want to talk about being insane? And the vast majority of people are insane, really. I haven't come across anyone yet who's not insane in one way or another. If you ask them, like I had at one time, I had like a 20 question thing I can just ask and I can see where the insanity was. Like, hey, do you believe that the United States government is your government? Right there. If they say yes, yeah, you're insane. I guess you could say, well, they just don't know. Okay, no, it's not your government, but yeah, it could be considered a form of insanity if you actually believe that the United States government is your government or whatever government you happen to belong to, like the German government or the government of France. Yeah, actually, I should say the Deutschland government. Germany is Deutschland. But yeah, I mean, it's just, I don't know. It's sad. It's really, really sad. It's like, oh, the homeless, why should we allow them to be around us? The thing is, the vast majority of peoples are one paycheck away from being homeless, basically, or a couple of paychecks away from being homeless. It doesn't take much. I think I just saw a statistic. It was like 40% of Americans can't even meet a $400 emergency. That's just absurd. It's totally absurd. Oh well, I'll talk about that a little later. Dogs detect seizures by smelling them. New evidence suggests. Hang on, I want to. Oops. I want to see something right quick here. Okay. One more reply. Nope. No, he hasn't replied. I guess he's not listening to the show. Sorry. Oh, that makes exciting radio, isn't it? You have no idea what I just was doing there. I was just checking to see if this guy was listening to my show. So I talk about flat Earth. All right. Getting back to this stuff here. The first smart watch to read your blood pressure is an ugly marvel. Yeah, it is kind of ugly, really. There's a picture of it. But, it's practical, I guess. I don't know if it really works or not. It might work using light. Oh, hang on a second. Lawrence says, "Lol, no, I didn't know Jedi was an actual religion in real life. I was raised Christian. While I recant and reject organized religion, I do go by the 10 Commandments and the Golden Rule. I also think that other than the Sabbath, the other 9 commandments can be arrived at by reason and conscience alone." He says, "I reserve judgment on flat versus sphere Earth." Lawrence, really? Well, it's a good it's a good start, reserving judgment. Yeah, I tell you, like most everyone, I thought flat Earth was absurd when I first saw it. But let me handle some of these comments that you just made. The golden rule, yeah, that's really cool and everything. Actually, I would kind of rephrase it. I would say something like, yeah, okay, need more proof. So I'll get to that in a second. I will talk about flat Earth. Now that I know someone here doesn't know about flat Earth. Yeah, we got more than enough proof, Lawrence. Okay, but let me talk about the golden rule for a moment. If everything you do, say, and think comes out of love, you don't have to worry about it. Okay. Seriously, everything you do, say, and think, if it comes out of love, then yeah, you're fine. In fact, you're more than fine. You should be maybe even ascending up to a higher level of reality or something. I have to work on that. I'm trying. I really am trying. I fall down sometimes, but yeah, I am trying. The Ten Commandments, have you actually read them? Seriously, have you sat down and read the Ten Commandments? And which Ten Commandments, though? There's a argument that there's actually 2 sets of Ten Commandments. And have you seen my 7 laws? I think my 7 laws beat the 10 commandments. Because if you're talking about secular laws, okay, my 7 laws are far superior to the 10 commandments. Now, if you're talking about religious law, well, what I just said, everything you say, think, and do comes out of love. Okay. That's it, basically. Now, you reject organized religion? Yeah, me too. The Bible, it's got some really great things in it. There's some things that I love about law that are not apparent, that they actually, like the parable with Jesus, where he's comes across the guy working on a Sabbath, and he says, basically, I have to paraphrase a little bit. I'm doing this off the top of my head here. Man, if thou knowest what thou doest, then thou is blessed. Thou art blessed. If thou doesn't know what thou are doing, then they are accursed and a transgressor against the law. Oh, okay. Lawrence says, I've seen your 7 laws. I forget exactly what they said, but I agree with when I read them. Yeah, you know what? I forget them too. And the thing is, because it's all common sense, as I say, common sense, or better yet, knowledge of good and evil, knowing good from evil. If you're not a psychopath or a sociopath, you already know my 7 laws without knowing them. That's it. You just know them without knowing them. Why memorize them? If let's put it this way, if you were living under them, okay, if we had a real valid government, okay, and you were living under the 7 laws, if you ever got dragged into court, you wouldn't even need to consult the laws. You just say, okay, first of all, have I done something wrong? What have I done wrong? And it's like, well, you did this or that. Oh, okay. Well, yeah. All right. If obviously I violated the 7 laws. If I've done that and that's wrong. Okay. I know that to be wrong. It's just knowing right from wrong. I'm sorry. I kind of mangled all that. But yeah, wouldn't you rather live under my 7 laws than under the 6 million or 60 million plus codes and statutes on this land? I mean, how could you possibly know all those? And those are not, the spirit of those does not take precedent over the word, because that's all legal stuff. You don't have spirit with legal stuff, because legal stuff is the land of the dead. Okay. Legal stuff is the land of the dead. There is no spirit, there is no life to their laws. In fact, there was one guy that summed up everything when he says, I looked at your laws and there is no love in them when he was talking to a court. Okay. Says there is no love there. Yeah, exactly. There is no love. There is no life. There's nothing there. So, getting to flat Earth. Okay. Flat Earth. If you go to my Lightning Post page, okay, and scroll down. I gotta just keep going, scrolling down. You will see a photograph of Florida. Okay. It is a high altitude photograph. Most of Florida is there. It is just a slight bit of it cut off at the very end, but it doesn't matter because the fact is most of it is there. Okay. Let me scroll down here. Okay. I don't want any dead air. Oh, excuse me. Scrolling. I gotta find it here. I will find it. It's I got a lot of stuff here. I got a lot of news stories and stuff. I need to thin them out and get rid of some of them that I did from past shows. But some of them I just want to, keep up there because they're such good stories. Interesting stories. Come on, scroll. I'm almost to it. I know I'm almost there. Here it is. Okay. On this, it's a meme. Okay, it's been made into a meme, but you can see there's no curvature to the state of Florida. Okay. And you can tell it's definitely the state of Florida, by the way. You can definitely tell that. You look at it, compare it to a map. It says the state of Florida is 500 miles long and 160 miles wide. There is 166,497.53 feet of missing curvature. That's 31.5 miles. 31.5 miles. Okay. According to math, this is impossible on a globe, but it is perfectly correct on a flat, stationary Earth. They have lied to you your whole life. Okay. That one photograph is proof. Think about it. You're looking at this long piece of land. There's ocean water around it. Okay, sure, there is terrain on Florida, not much. Like you have a couple, like a hill or two or whatever, it's fine. But all that coastal area, okay, there is no curvature whatsoever. All that water surrounding Florida is flat. That's part of it's the ocean and part of it's the Gulf of Mexico, but it's all ocean anyway. Okay. It's all the same ocean, really. If that part of the ocean is flat, yeah, NASA lies about everything. For simplicity, we see too far over water, which is always, I guess he's supposed to say always, flat with no measurable curve. Yes. That's from NASA lies about everything. Thank you. Yeah, but this photograph says it all. Okay. Now, if you want to get more into it, we've on my page here, I've got infrared link to infrared video. Yeah, we can see way too far with infrared video because infrared video it cuts right through haze and fog and all kinds of stuff. Okay, it doesn't matter about the salinity of the water or anything like that. It cuts right through all that. If you see shore to shore over 10 miles, well, 10 miles is supposed to be over 25 feet of curvature. Okay. And if you can see shore to shore, that means you're not seeing any curvature. Yeah, but especially here. Now, you add all that in with what the Discovery Channel does. They basically prove flat Earth, by the way. When they go up in a U-2 spy plane up to 70,000 feet and they show you the curvature, but they're using a curved fisheye lens because before they even take off, you see the runway is curved, the building over next to the runway is curved. Or actually probably not the runway, it's probably a path next to the runway or going onto the runway. But yeah, everything's curved. And then they get up 70,000 feet and they look down and say, oh, look, there's the curvature. Well, if you're using a fisheye lens to produce curvature, then you're telling us that there is no curvature. Okay? There simply is no curvature. Not at 70,000 feet and not at 100,000 feet. We have video at 100,000 feet up. There's no curvature. Where's the curvature? If there's no curvature, it's flat. It's simple. This is basic, simple logic and reason. Okay? And it's not debatable. It's not up for debate. It's not disputable. Unless you are, totally insane. Okay? Seriously. Okay. Lawrence says, I did some quick math, and I think as little as 3 miles of water should be enough for me to visually check for flatness of water. I think I'll get a $200 telescope and go to a local lake this summer. Hey, check the price. I don't know how much the P900 cameras are, but check the prices on those because they're easier to operate. I think basically, and you can get well, no, not easier to operate. I'm sorry. I don't know what the hell I'm thinking. It's easier if you have an infrared filter on it. Okay. But yeah, a telescope will work. It's fine. It's just that with the telescope, unless you have an infrared filter, haze can get in the way. The salinity of the water. Well, of course, you got a lake, so you don't have to worry about salinity, but you do have to worry about temperature inversions. If the lake was frozen, okay, actually it would be better if the lake was actually frozen. But yeah, it's just, I'm going to just tell you right now, you're going to see a little bit of distortion, maybe. It depends. It depends on the conditions. So yeah, that's fine. Yeah, NASA lies about everything, says do it when it's cool. You'll have the least amount of haze in the air. Yeah, he's absolutely right. Yeah, what it is you have to worry about the differentials, really, the temperature difference between the lake water and the air above it. Okay, that's really what you have to worry about. But yeah, you can do it. If you want to do it just at 3 miles, that's fine. That's about 2 meters, I think. It's no, actually it's less than 2 meters. It's 6 feet. It's 72 inches. That's right. 3 miles is 72 inches. All right. So anyway, let me get back up here. Yeah, so you can see for yourself. That's great. I encourage you to see for yourself. All right. Yeah, the stuff about the Discovery Channel, though, I mean, it's just, God, when they go around faking experiments and don't even use scientists, they just use actors. They never use scientists, because the thing about scientists is that you can actually go to their ethics board, depending on which scientist, what kind of scientist and everything, and whatever. A lot of variables there, but you can go to the ethics board and say, hey, this scientist just, faked an experiment, and you can prove it. All right, let me scroll back up. Scroll. Oh my, this is a lot of scrolling. I've got to thin this stuff out from these older shows. I do not want this page to get too crowded. I want to make it really easy. Okay, oops, I passed. Okay. Why the most intelligent people love spending time alone, from inc.com. Yeah, intelligent people do, and the reason being is because most intelligent peoples, they talk to themselves because it's the only intelligent conversation they can get most of the time. And I'm like that. Really. Seriously. I know that sounds bad, but the vast majority of time when I'm talking to someone. Oh, Lawrence says, good call. NASA lies, thinks. Yeah. NASA lies everything. Really, I must be brilliant. Yeah. 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 I know that you have intelligence. You definitely have intelligence. NASA lies about everything. Yeah. Isn't it? It's just you talk to yourself, right? NASA lies about everything. Says absolutely, Lawrence. I'm just reading this stuff off in case you don't have access to the chat. I realize that some people's may be listening via it says and humble. The oh geez, what is it? The app, listening by the app, or if you're in Germany, you might be listening on the radio, which is really cool. I have no idea what station it is, though. From what I've been told that it's kind of underground, some kind of underground, maybe a pirate radio station or something. But we got supposedly like 100,000 listeners there, so that's cool. Oh yeah, and they're negotiating with the station manager or someone is negotiating with a station here in San Diego, which would be really awesome. I mean, it'd be just totally awesome if we can get on the air in San Diego. Oh my God. That actually surprised me. I thought the next radio station would be like in New Zealand or maybe Australia. I was actually surprised in Germany though, but maybe not too much. I don't know. Given the history of Deutschland and all that, it's like, yeah, there probably are lots of peoples that want freedom and stuff. They want to maintain freedom. Anyway, from the freethoughtproject.com, watch cops taser naked man in his back as he walks away, falsely claim he advanced at them. Yeah, he was coming at me. I feared for my life. I had to taser him in the back as he was walking away. Yeah. Like this naked man is a threat to your life when he's headed in the opposite direction. As I said, these cops are criminally insane. Now, here's something else from Free Thought Project. You have no jurisdiction over me. U.S. citizen owns officers, shuts down arrest by knowing the law. Well, if he really knew it, he wouldn't proclaim himself to be a U.S. citizen. But he did have some really valid points. The thing is, it was with ICE. Okay, ICE was bothering some friends of his, I guess. I'd read the story, but it's been a little bit of time since I read it. And yeah, he was absolutely right. ICE had no jurisdiction. That's basically what he was talking about was jurisdiction. ICE did not have jurisdiction. It was a sanctuary town, and it was over immigrants and stuff. And ICE does not have jurisdiction in a sanctuary town, and ICE does not have jurisdiction over someone who is native born to this land, like this man is. So yeah, he did get lucky though, in a way. He did get really lucky. He's lucky the cops didn't haul him off. Washington, most teens are not using more marijuana following legalization. Yes, that kind of thing is well known. There's a town or a city, I think it's a city in England, I believe, or maybe Wales, might be England. I'm just remembering something vaguely. They legalized all drugs, basically. Heroin, opium, whatever. They legalized it. And the usage did not increase. Of course, the usage is not going to increase. If it's illegal, they're going to just use it whether it's illegal or not. It doesn't matter. The legality of it as far as the use goes just doesn't matter. As a matter of fact, well, it does matter a little bit. Let me back off of that statement just a little bit here. It turns out that if something's illegal, there's more incentive for young people to do it. Okay, let's put it that way. Okay. Excuse me. Sorry, that cough came up really suddenly. I have kind of a cough button actually on my microphone. I got the microphone to working right. It wasn't working right. Kind of right anyway. It wasn't working quite right last show. I was having technical issues last show. Anyway, states crack down. I got to follow this link here. This is another thing that didn't come through right. More states crack down on pipeline protesters, including supporters who aren't even in, even on the scene. Aren't even on the scene. Pop-up came up and interfered. There's all these laws in these neighboring states and stuff. I mean, well, in the neighboring South Dakota, the governor has signed legislation allowing state or local governments or third parties to seek compensation from anyone who engages in riot boosting, okay, which is someone who supports the protesters. If you listen to my show a long time, you know how I feel about protesting. It's just basically bitching, It's like there are far more effective things you can do. You can actually organize and kick government out, the fake government that is. So yeah, even if you're on the internet and you're saying, I support these protesters and here, I'm going to send them some money or whatever. Yeah, they can start prosecuting you under that law. Yeah, when you haven't done anything wrong, nothing wrong. Of course, they probably consider it to be like terrorism. ACLU steps in after video showed what moving while black looks like. Oh, that was a story from last week. I covered that story last week. No more stories to cover. Okay, cool. Let's see. Do I want to go ahead and go to the break and then come back? Or do I want to do something else? You know what? I think I will. It's a little bit early, but I'm just going ahead and head into the break here. Just give me... I got to get my phone up. Here we go. All right. I'll be right back.
You're listening to Flat Earth Radio Live, and this is the Flat Earth Man, and all you're watching is a puppet show. All y'all watching is a puppet show. Yeah, the whole world's a stage. The whole world's a stage, man. You're listening to Flat Earth Radio Live.
Flat Earth New Zealand Trust Group is proud to present the Flat Earth New Zealand Expo 2019, April 27th through the 28th. Awakening to reality and purpose is the solemn duty and joy of each significant soul. Join us at our Flat Earth New Zealand Expo to see mysteries unraveled and learn a truthful perspective about our world that you may have never considered before. Unearthed in a creative and condensed way. Flat Earth Expo at Aotearoa, New Zealand. Hosted in Auckland. Jam-packed 2-day, 3-part event to showcase the flat Earth and other related topics, such as the Antarctic Circle and lands beyond, NASA, scientism, religion exposed, the Matrix control, vaccinations and chemtrails, political globalism and the New World Order, fake news and false education, astronomy untouched, weather modification, historical hoaxes, financial systems, what are UFOs and aliens, biblical cosmology, and much more. Broaden your horizon. On Saturday, join an open educational public seminar with 4 international lecturers. You will enjoy a quality crash course in flat earth knowledge, each presenting undeniable evidence covering several categories of research as well as touching on other connected fields of study. This quick Q&A session includes an attendant pack and afternoon tea. It truly is a marvel to behold while awakening the common senses. The 2019 Flat Earth New Zealand Expo promises to be a feast of flat earth exhibits, products, souvenirs and artwork displayed throughout both days. So don't miss it. Our contact information. You can call us at 021-0289-3402 or email us at admin@fenzexpo.co.nz or write to us at PO Box 51010, Pakuranga, Auckland, New Zealand 2010. Flat Earth is common sense and is found in the history of every race. For ticket information or to ask questions, log on to fenzexpo.com.
Hey, John, you don't look so good. What's the matter?
Oh, I always feel tired and run down. No energy. I think it's my poor diet or something.
Well, John, I used to feel the same way. Couldn't sleep at night, couldn't stay awake in the daytime. That's when my doc told me that I had leaky gut syndrome.
Oh, wow. What'd you do? Surgery?
No way. I tried Tarsal. Tarsal is made with the finest, purest cream of tartar and MSM sulfur. And that's all. The fact that it contains all natural ingredients makes it especially desirable in today's toxic world. Tarsal is a white powder that you take every day with water or juice. Taken regularly, Tarsal can clear your leaky gut right up.
Tarsal, huh? So what else does Tarsal do?
Tarsal can help with acne, psoriasis, constipation, gallstones, heartburn, hemorrhoids, hypertension, IBS, and UTI.
Wow, that's quite a formula.
Yes, it is. And Tarsal also helps you to relax, repels insects, and can help you stop smoking.
So how do I find Tarsal?
That's easy. Just go to tarsal.com or call 619-363-1264. Try a bottle today and begin feeling normal again.
TARSUL.com. Try Tarsal today.
Okay, I'm back. All right, so NASA lies about everything. I just apparently received your email. I can, you know what? I can probably just send you something tonight, right after I get off the air. I'll send you some files. Not too much. I don't want to overload you. Let's say I gotta watch my data. Seriously, gotta watch my data. But anyway, there's something I want to play here. I haven't played it in a while, and it's really cool and everything. And I just want to play it again. If you've heard it, I do apologize, but it actually is really cool. So I'm going to play this for you, and I'll be right back after that.
Hey, an alien! Yes, I've traveled across space to check on the progress of your species. Cool. Shall I take you to our leader? Your what? Our leader, the guy in charge. The guy in charge of what? Well, in charge of everything. You have one guy in charge of everything? No, he's in charge of government. What is government? Well, government makes the rules for us. It tells us what we can do and what we can't do. So is government really smart? They come up with wise rules for you to follow? Well, mostly. But some of its rules are really stupid. Do you disregard those rules? No, we have to follow the rules, even if they are stupid or we disagree with them. Government punishes anyone who disobeys the rules.
So you are slaves to government?
No, 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 it's not like that at all. Government works for us, the people. It serves us. We're the boss.
It tells you what to do, and it punishes you with violence if you disobey it, and yet you're its boss?
Yeah.
But there are some things government does that you don't like.
Well, yeah, not everything government does is popular, like spending on wars, for example.
What is a war?
It's when government basically spends the people's money on weapons and soldiers and then sends them over to the other side of the world to kill a bunch of people over there and destroy their country. I don't like it that government does this.
Well, I can see why you might not like that. Have you humans reached the stage where you generally consider stealing, enslaving, and killing each other to be bad things?
Oh yeah, we know that. Don't steal, don't attack, don't assault.
But you give money to government and they use it to kill people.
Well, yeah, but government does good things with tax money as well.
Why don't you stop paying for the things you don't like and only pay for the good things it does?
No, we can't do that. You can't just decide to stop paying taxes because the rules say that everyone has to pay taxes.
But the rules come from government though, don't they?
Yeah.
So government made a rule which says that everyone has to pay them money. So everyone pays taxes because if they didn't, government would punish them using violence?
Well, yes, but most people don't mind paying taxes. Most people feel obligated to pay taxes and obey government laws because it's for the good of society. Society needs government, and that means we all have to pay taxes.
So just to make sure I've got this straight, government makes the rules and you feel obligated to follow the rules, even the ones you don't like, and it tells you what to do and threatens to punish you if you don't do what it says, and it uses some of the money that it's taken from you using threats of violence to pay for things you don't like and actually think are immoral, like mass murder.
Yeah, but we can ask it to please tell us to do smart things, and please don't take our money and use it to kill people. We're allowed to ask them to tell us to do what we want them to tell us to do.
Are you guys just scared of this thing? Is government some huge monster that can just squish you at any moment if you disobey?
No, government isn't a monster.
Well, what is it then? Could you draw me a picture of it?
Government isn't really the sort of thing you can draw a picture of.
Maybe you could take me to it. Where is government?
You mean the building?
Government is a building.
No, but the politicians who make up the government have buildings they work from.
So government is a group of these politicians?
Yeah.
Okay, so what species are these politicians?
Well, they're human.
Like you?
Yeah.
So politicians are humans and they're government. You're a human, but you're not government.
No.
So it's the politicians, they're the ones that boss the rest of you around and make you do things you don't want to do and take your money using threats of violence. But even though you're all humans, you're not allowed to boss them around and take their money?
No, they'd put us in a cage if we did that. But look, it's not like the politicians can just do whatever they want. Like, a politician can't just come up to me on the street and make me give him money. They can't do that. Politicians can only do things like that in their job when they're working for government.
Oh, so politicians aren't government. They just work for government.
Yeah.
Okay, so government isn't a monster. and it isn't a building, and it's not politicians, it's something else. And it employs politicians who are just regular humans who get to order everyone else around and take their money. How does a regular human become a politician?
Well, that's the great thing about our government. It's a democracy, and that means that the people actually have the power, because we get to decide who among us get to be the politicians. We get to vote. And if a politician starts doing things we don't like, we can just replace him with someone else at the next election.
So the people that get chosen to be politicians only get to boss people around and take their money for a short time, and then they go back to being regular humans?
Exactly.
That sounds like a powerful position to be in. But if you get to choose who does that, I assume that politicians are always the wisest, most honest, caring and respected people among you.
Well, no, not really. I wouldn't say politicians are known for being honest, or wise, or caring. And they're certainly not the most respected people among us. Come to think of it, most politicians are lying, power-hungry crooks.
The ones you chose?
Yeah, they're always doing things we don't like. They use taxpayers' money to enrich themselves and their friends, and they never keep their promises to voters. They've been caught stealing and lying and taking bribes, and they mostly do what the big corporations want. Yeah, they're always doing stuff like that. They're completely corrupt. They're a bunch of lying crooks.
But you said that most humans know that stealing and beating each other up and killing are wrong. And you said that you have the power because you can change who's in charge. So why don't you just replace the lying, thieving, murderous, crooked politicians with some regular people?
Well, we don't try to elect lying crooks. It just always turns out that way. But we have to have a government because some humans are nasty and might kill or enslave or steal. Civilization just couldn't survive without government.
Let me get this straight. Because you're worried about the small number of nasty people that are willing to kill, enslave, and steal, you think it's necessary for your survival to have a system where some humans among you, for a short while, get to call themselves the government, and they get to order everyone else around like slaves, and, if they want, commit mass murder overseas, using money they stole, using threats of violence. Politicians get to kill, enslave, and steal, because if they didn't, someone else might. And you try to elect good, honest people to be politicians, but what happens every time is that the people you elect turn out to be corrupt, evil, lying crooks. That's your system.
Yeah, that's pretty much government.
Okay. All right. Back on the air. Yep. All right. Yeah. Apparently, yeah, NASA lies about everything. Lawrence loved this. Yeah, it's from Government Explained. It's on YouTube. So I encourage you to download it. Okay. I have let's see, what is that thing I've got? I can download. And I can't get to it from here right quick. Anyway, yeah, so there's some things you can use to download from YouTube. Okay. That's what it was. It was actual video that I was playing. Well, it turns out I actually did have some other news. I don't know how I missed it. It's right here on my page. All right. Teen dies of tapeworm larvae infestation in brain. Is 18-year-old who complained of seizures in an emergency room. Yeah. When you're living in abject poverty and you don't have good sanitary systems and stuff in place, there's no need for this kind of thing. Really, there's not. If we had what I would call real government, which isn't government, I just don't have another word for it. Not a single word anyway. It's a corporation that we own that We can prove that we own, that we have a share in. Everyone has one share, no more than one share, and it's just a service. It provides services that we could not provide for ourselves otherwise. Okay, basically, that's what it is. We would have universal guaranteed income, and the reason why we'd have it is because it would lift everyone up. Even if you never got it, never received it, like if you made, let's say the universal guaranteed income was, say, $52,000 a year, and you made $52,000 a year, you would never get any. But it would still help you greatly, because there would be others who would receive some money and they would go spend it, on food and clothes and stuff, and, create jobs until they didn't need it anymore. It turns out the two experiments that were done in these two small towns, one in Canada, one in the United States, it turns out that while there was some that didn't need it and they got it, well, they stopped getting it after a while because they didn't need it after a while. All they needed was a hand up. So they were able to get clothes and food and everything, and then eventually go to work, because the economies actually started booming. I mean, absolutely booming. And that's the reason why the government stopped. At first they thought, oh, well, this is a great idea, so we can just keep them all, tied to us forever. And it turned out that no, most people will get off of that as soon as they can, really. They just need a hand up. And social services does not do that. They give you so little, they actually keep you in poverty. They really do. They're designed to keep you in poverty. Yeah, just take NASA's budget, $58 million per day. Yeah, actually, it would actually require more than that. But here's the thing. We actually have plenty. If you go to what the Department of Defense has, because they lose trillions of it. In fact, I've got a news story about the losing trillions of dollars. It was $6 trillion recently, but before that, it was $21 trillion over a course of 20 years. Now, I did the math. I did it for last week's show. Okay. Assuming, let's see, you have the population in the U.S. is 326,972,720 or 772, and I assumed that 1/4 of the population would take the full amount. Okay, because not everyone would be taking the full amount, but just for kind of a sort of a back of the envelope thing, a real quick thing to estimate how much it would cost, I assumed that 1/4 of the population would take the full amount. So that would be $624 billion. Okay, $624 billion. That's far less than 1 trillion. Okay, well, not, but it is less. It's a little over more than half of $1 trillion. If the Department of Defense can lose $21 trillion and not even miss it, or $6 trillion and not even miss it, think about it. They're obviously not missing it, because if they were missing it, they'd say, "Oh well, we don't have this war system we desperately need. These tanks that we desperately need. We don't know. It's like the money just disappeared, and we had, we were going to buy these tanks with it, or these planes with it." I just did a story last week about the Pentagon wasting millions, I think it was like millions of dollars or whatever, on lobster and crab. It's like, come on, really? Anyway, more than 1 million childless people over 65 are dangerously unsupported. That's from theguardian.com. yeah, they don't have kids to help them out, and actually they shouldn't have to have kids. It's just all this social injustice that we have because of these fake governments. Pastor who bought wife a Lamborghini begs church members to pay $250,000 for repairs to the roof of the church. Yeah, so Lamborghinis are really freaking expensive, by the way. They're really, really expensive. He could probably sell that Lamborghini and pay for the repair of the roof himself. And actually, that's way too much for a roof repair job. Someone's getting some money. Okay, that is way too much for a roof repair job. Yeah, I don't care how big the place is. I mean, what is it, a stadium? Even then, please, roof repairs. They said roof repairs, not replacing the damn roof. Yeah, that's way, way too much. Florida apartments and country clubs are trading for as low as $1. Yeah, and yes, there is a catch to that. These country clubs, they have fees that you have to pay, but some people's are actually giving. It's like, okay, you buy this apartment for $1. I'll give you 30,000 to help with the fees, the first year fees. Because they just don't want it. They inherit it because there's so many retirees dying off down there. Because old age basically. And my dad's down in Florida, by the way. I found that out. I need to contact him one of these days. I sent a postcard. I don't know if he ever got it. Anyway, yeah, they're just inheriting all these apartments and they don't want them, and so they're selling them for as low as $1. Re-fingerprinting of California lawyers turns up thousands of criminal records. I love that. Hey, I told you, all these lawyers, they are criminally insane. What can you say? I mean, what else is there to say? That headline says it all. That's from abovethelaw.com. It's one of my little news things that I get on my phone with oh yeah. Oh, damn it. Hang on a second here. What I meant to do here is go over to this and this. Okay, it was Smart News. That's it. There's an app called Smart News. I have that and I have News 360. Smart News is better actually, but I still use News 360. So in case you're wondering where I get the stories from, and you can configure the news, configure what you get in the news. So anyway, yeah, that was one of the stories that came up. Marijuana stocks are bringing CBD products to your local Walgreens. Yeah, that's cool. I got to hurry this up. We're at 1847 and 58. Oh man, 1848. I got to hurry up. The Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Master Chief Shredder is a reality. You want to see that? Check that out. The man who set up his own toll road without permission. That was a cool story. That was a YouTube. It's on YouTube. It's pretty short too. Pretty short little video. 2 men cleared after 42 years of murder they didn't commit. Yeah. I mean, what can you say? For those that like the death penalty, hey, these two could have been, murdered by the system. Think about that. There a lot of peoples are actually innocent that are actually on death row. India goes electric with battery swapping rickshaws. What they do is they have a special charge station and they have 2 batteries that they run their rickshaws off of. And they swap those. Excuse me. Food's starting to come back up on me a little bit. they swap the batteries out, and so they'll take the 2 batteries out of the car and put it inside the charging station, and take the fresh 2 batteries and put them back in the rickshaws actually, and then let those 2 dead batteries charge up. That's a really cool system, actually. Okay, and let's see. Let me make sure that I am not skipping over any other stories. Yeah, those are kind of like in the middle for some reason. I mean, I don't know why I missed them. Let's see. Okay, so did I do that story last week? I'm not sure if I did. Scientists reverse rats' alcoholism by firing lasers at their brain. I think I did that story. Yeah. Except I didn't really go into it. Let's see. I got 10 minutes to the end of the show. Just should I go into it? I don't know. I've got a court case up here, linked up here as well. And all of this thing right here says U.S. citizens of the District Columbia residing in one of the states of the Union are classified as property and franchises of the federal government as an individual entity. Oh yeah, that was a story I did do that story last week. I remember now. I never got around to actually looking at the court case and I mean really looking it over, reading it. I'm going to have to do that. I've got the court case. I just haven't really read it through really well. I've skimmed it, and that's it. And anyway, it says this reflects the attempt to put the people in servitude, slaves, i.e., permanent debtors, bankrupt, in legal incapacity, rendered commercial persons, residents, and corporate franchisees, I'm sorry, known as citizens of the United States under the so-called 14th Amendment. Yeah. There's something about slavery. I was having a discussion. That was it. Yeah, I was having a discussion on Facebook. There was a Bible verse that I posted, and it talked about slavery and stuff. And I said, hang on a second, Lawrence. I'll read your stuff in just 1 second. I posted this Bible verse about slavery and whatever, slaves. And I'd said that slavery harms both the master and the slave. And that is true. Spiritually speaking, both are harmed. So anyway, Lawrence says, I read a story this week about possible mushrooms on Mars and obvious mold on the rover. Yeah, the mushrooms were, oh God, what were the puffballs? That's it, puffball mushrooms. And they actually are on Earth. If you go and look at YouTube, you know what? I'm going to have to send. Hey, Lawrence, can you email me so I can send you a link? I'll have to do it tomorrow, but I want to send you some links to some YouTube videos that will clear all that up. Okay. Mars is not actually a planet. That's probably one of the reasons why you're having such a hard time with the flat Earth thing. It's just a light in the sky. The Mars rover, not expecting you to read everything. Okay, sorry. No, it's I like having someone post things up here so I can respond to them. It's good interaction. That's what I'm doing. So yeah, please email me. Okay, thunder.bear.courage@gmail.com. I want to send you some links to clear this stuff up. Oh, okay. All right, cool. Yeah. This NASA lies about everything. He's talking about propaganda. Yeah, that's what it is. The mushrooms on Mars. Yeah. They're kind of letting it leak that there's life on Mars. But those rovers are roaming around Earth. And we know the thing is, well, I say we, there's peoples in the flat Earth community that specialize in that. and they match up the terrain to the terrain that's here on Earth. And it's actually several different places that they take the rover. One of the places is an island off of the coast of Canada. It's uninhabited. And so, yeah, they just want everyone to, thunder.bear.courage@gmail.com. Yes, that's it. So, yeah, they just want people's just, discussing space and everything. Oh, man, the show's about over with. I'm going to, geez, you know what? When I get off the air, I'm going to, because I can't even see a pen right now. I usually have lots of pens around. I'm going to write this down and make sure that next week I actually do go over that court case. And, so I'll read it ahead of time. The Wheeling Steel Corp versus Fox court case. I'm going to read it over, and because I like checking things out. Someone says this says something, it says this or this says that. I like to check it out, especially when it comes to court cases and stuff. All right. So yeah, I will check that out and get back to you next week. And let's see, should I wrap things up right now? Let's see. Oh yeah, what I wanted to say is really important. If you can, please donate to alphauralive.com. Okay, if you can. It would really help out a lot, because the station doesn't make any money, by the way. Just to let you know, it doesn't make any money. It's basically a non-for-profit entity. It's a non-commercial entity. So yeah, even though we do play a commercial, in fact, there's supposed to be some more commercials. Those are just thank you gifts to those who have, donated. That's what we consider that, just thank you gifts. We're probably never ever going to get any kind of, sponsorship or anything, and that might compromise the station anyway if we did. They might say, "Oh, you got to get rid of Thunder Bear. You got to get rid of the Thunder Talk show," because the stuff that I talk about law and I talk about flat Earth, and I know that I am usually censored on Google. I was going to check again. I was actually doing the video and check again, see if they're still censoring me. But last time I checked, yeah, they were still censoring me. In other words, I wasn't coming up on Google, but I was coming up on DuckDuckGo. That's the search engine I like using. Actually, I kind of like using both that and Google, because I like comparing. When you start typing in flat Earth stuff, it's a world of difference. And even law stuff. I've noticed lately when I'm typing stuff into DuckDuckGo, when it comes to law, it's like so much more stuff comes up. So much more stuff that really should be coming up. So anyway, I guess I got to call it a night. If you're pulling out of a parking lot in the dark, please turn on your headlights and your taillights if you have a defective car or truck that has a separate taillight switch. Oh, hang on a second, Lawrence. I guess you want me to read this? Maybe. It says, between the mold and the surface ice and water and the clouds, it's got to be such a nuisance, either doctoring the photos or else inventing plausible explanations that it's easier to retcon Mars. And look. Okay. Really quickly, because I'm running out of time here. As far as doctoring the photos, they just do mostly color adjustment. And they really don't doctor very much. Okay. They don't have to. They just do color adjustments because the terrain they're going over and stuff like that. Yeah. But I will, I'll send you some links tomorrow. Okay. I'm not going to be able to get to them tonight, but I will send them tomorrow. And that's it for tonight. Bye. All right. Okay. Oh, crap. Totally forgot. I forgot about YouTube. I got to shut off YouTube. Stop broadcast.